Okay, so it's 4 o'clock. I've already edited half of the things that I've already recorded, and I hop on Twitter and I saw this. So I'm gonna include it since the video is already short. Okay, he's always been the spare, he just didn't know it. There's the Lafayette, Sussex Squad, Baldilac, Berkshire Willie, Prince William exposed. Okay, so this is the headline the squad retweeted. Powerless Prince William feels like a spare as Harry and Meghan use outcast status to win back global prominence. Okay, Harry never lose any global prominence. What I see is happening here, because even though I don't share it on this video, but if you go on my community board on Your Team Sussex, there's all sort of headlines that the squad are sharing, and I put it on my community board. What's happening here, so far their tactic, their blueprint is not working, so they're throwing all sort of stuff out there to see what sticks. But the most important thing that they refuse to talk about is, where is Kate? Nobody knows where Kate is. They probably do, but they're not touching that topic. But they're just doing just BS after BS. Since Harry and Meghan left or did their Nigeria trip, I didn't hear anything from them. I don't know, while I was going on vacation, if there's any brand new stuff that the Sussexes, the Harry and Meghan have done. I haven't heard anything so far. All right. Prince William feels like a spare and overshadowed by his brother, Prince Harry, and sister-in-law, Meghan Markle, after the couple's Nigeria tour helps them into the spotlight. Yeah, they were always the spotlight. You guys were just being, I don't know, put your head in the sand, or put your head in William's ass and listen to his BS. Pretend that you did your fake, was it YouGov poll, and you I don't know, you guys drink your own Kool-Aid? My goodness. Shouldn't he be focusing on his wife? See, there's that. His whole life is consumed by Harry. Okay, at this point, a rat can overshadow Willie. I've seen more people talking about how big the rats are in New York than about Willie and all his side chicks and side chunks. There's the laugh here. Went back prominence. There's the thinking face here. Harry had always overshadowed his father and brother. When Meghan came along, Harry and Meghan overshadowed everyone. Oh, he knew. That's why he's using and abusing Harry for all those years before Meghan. Berkshire really recognized that his birthright didn't make him the better man, and he hated it. That's a very good point. Okay, Harry has always been more interesting. Instead of working with the media to drive Harry and his wife out, they could have been a strong force together. Everybody sees that but them. Well, then again, when you look who the father marries, so she probably, in my humble opinion, put more nonsense in William's head to divide the brothers. I mean, I've always said that. Alright, so that's an ad. Let's read what's there, and then that'll be it. And then I'll go back to my original recording, which now I only have the prayer to do. Okay, this is progress. William is becoming self-aware. That's a very good point as well. William deserves just as much consideration, loyalty, and decency as he has given. What? William deserves just as much consideration, loyalty, and decency as he has given. What decency William has given? Loyalty and decency as he has given. What decency William has given?
What? Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be a policeman, but that happened. I wouldn't want to be that now.
The most popular cop on the block.
Exactly.
What would you want to do?
I think I don't know. It's a really tricky question. It goes through my head lots. I'd like to fly helicopters, definitely. I'd like to be some sort of heli pilot, you know, working for the UN maybe or something like that. Go off and do some, you know, I'd have to be doing something active outside and doing sort of fun stuff, but with an edge to helping people.
How about you, Harry?
He'd probably sit in and play computer games and drink beer.
Loyalty and decency as he has given. What decency William has given?
That was trying a concert will be easy, and it's actually been a lot tougher than you imagined.
Yeah. We couldn't have done it with everybody else's help.
Yeah.
Everyone coming together, all the little cogs and pieces put together to turn out to get this, and it's just amazing.
I mean, to be fair, we know nothing about concerts. So, you know,
You do now.
Well, yeah, no, everyone else has done all the hard work. We just came up with the idea. So.
Has there been any kind of diva demands or sort of pop stars you've had to deal with that have been quite tricky?
Couldn't possibly be so indiscreet.
The Spice Girls were quite keen to.
He's been the hardest. He's, some cigarettes somewhere and a beer. That's about it, really. But apart from that, it's been pretty easy.
Have you been the diva today then, Harry, with your rider?
I haven't been the diva. This is very unfair.
Why do you think Harry and Meghan are doing their own thing? It's because of William. William hired Simon Case to write an exit plan for Harry. And then Harry knows that the people William and Charles have around them are using them, meaning William and Charles, to pretty much get what they want.
That she started a campaign in the British press to pave the way for a marriage, and you wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy.
Mm-hmm.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous.
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
So now anybody who is well-minded or around them, they make sure to kick them out. They put BS in William's head and Charles' head, things that they want to hear to make them feel bigger than life itself. And then Charles and William buys it and think that they are better and bigger than anybody. Now reality strikes and they can't understand. They should blame the people around them. Meanwhile, Harry have been telling both of them everything that they needed to hear, not needed to hear, reality. Harry have been telling them reality. Use his marriage with Meghan to boost up their whatever popularity and all sort of things. Did they listen? No, because the other people around William and Charles have different agenda for themselves. But instead, they put BS in Charles and William's head, things that will make them feel, I don't know, they're already important, they just don't know. But whatever, William feeling like a spare is a good thing. Now he knows how it feels to be a spare. He still hadn't learned enough. He needs to be treated as a spare. I think then he will know what Harry has felt his whole life. Like I said, those who have been watching, listening to my podcast, I've told you guys, the world will teach William a thing or two. Alright? I don't think he has learned anything. In order for him to understand Harry's pain throughout his life, he's gonna have to experience it. He's not done yet. This is just the beginning. Alright? There's the laugh. Yeah, I know, right? That's why he is always angry. That's when he feel like there's a guy who's following him. He was riding his bike with what's the other one? The one is missing, the wife.
You can have this altercation.
I know. I just realised who it was, and I've just.
You didn't. You're out here looking for us. Don't.
I was actually. No, I didn't. I haven't been near the house. I've not been. I promise you, I've not been near your house. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, you are. How dare you behave like you've done my children? How dare you?
I have not
You
done
are stalking
anything.
around here looking for us and our children. I went for a quiet bike ride with my children on Saturday, and you won't even give me your name. You're outrageous. You're disgusting. You really are. You can have this altercation.
Alright, so there's, what did it say? There once was a princess called Kate whose disappearance is unknown to date. By her story, my friend, you might find it in the end that a horror show may be her fate. Wow, where is Kate? 155 days missing. Boo-hoo-hoo, Willie. His mistake was thinking that Harry didn't have any goals of his own, and also that his behavior will go unnoticed for a long time. He should have bet on family. Then again, he may not know what the word family means since he shunned his mom. That's another thing. Yeah, even when Harry has his first child, Archie, when they ask him how he feel about it, he's like, he already had a nephew. So they put nonsense in his head. Family was never a thing for him. So this I sort of agree. Okay, it's easy to be overshadowed when you're basically doing nothing. That is true. I noticed them trying to rewrite history outcast when it's Harry and Meghan who left the UK behind. That is true. But let's not forget, it's William who pushed them. This we must always emphasize. It is William who pushes Harry out. He hired a civil servant who knows the law very well to write a documentation how Harry will not be a working world. Harry, if you listen to the Oprah interview, they said that if things wasn't like that, they will still be over there.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
As much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
All the things that Harry did, going to court to have the judge review the paperwork, how they exit him out. Okay, all this has to do with it. It's because he knows, Harry knows William was making a huge mistake.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between, a compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
And he wanted, once the decision is made, he wanted to make sure that everyone knows it wasn't his plan to exit, to not be a working world. It was William's plan. They put BS in his head, saying that, in my humble opinion, there's Meghan and Harry taking the spotlight away from you. You're supposed to be the biggest of everything, but you're not doing a damn thing to get a spotlight. But every time the spotlight comes to you, you're doing stupid things. Okay? And then you don't like it because people are calling you out on your stupidity. So I believe someone put nonsense in his head to make him believe that Meghan and Harry were taking the spotlight away from him. Meanwhile, Meghan was doing things quietly, and she literally told them she don't mind being in the background, do things quietly and all of this to maximize her potential.
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
But instead, you listen to people putting BS on your head, and once you make that decision, now you realize, oh, look how dumb you were, because Harry told you. And not only that, Harry have literally told them what they need to do to get the popularity that they are searching for. Harry told them it's not the uniform that matters.
The uniform you've been wearing this past week will give you a new story to tell. And for others, it may give your old uniform new meaning. But I'm here to remind you that after all this, you don't need to rely on a uniform, nor should you ever feel lost without one.
Okay, it's your character.
Because to be role models, or the role models that each of you are, takes strength and it takes courage. When I talk to my son Archie about what he wants to be when he grows up, some days it's an astronaut, other days it's a pilot, a helicopter pilot, obviously. Or Quasi from Octonauts. If you're laughing, then you've seen it. But what I remind him is that no matter what you want to be when you grow up, it's your character that matters most. And
have you changed your character yet? Character meaning the douchebag that you are. Have you looked in the mirror and see how you behave and see where you could change? Have you done that? I don't think so. Have you also, treat your wife correctly? But instead, what you decided to do is to wear clothes that looks like Harry, shoes that looks like Harry. When he went the Santa Bali polo match that they had in Florida, the way Harry dressed, next thing you know, he's dressing like that. This doesn't make a damn thing. Okay? It will not change a damn thing. Your character. This is the part that you need to change. Your character. You know you're gonna be king. Right? The nonsense you tell people is that you're getting taxpayers' money because you're doing charitable work. Are you helping the people of the UK? Are you helping everybody, not just a few people who are already rich who don't need your help? You focusing on them only. That's not the thing. There's people who's going hungry. There's people who cannot pay their bills. There's people who are homeless. Are you doing that? Instead of shifting the blame, oh, if my mother was alive, she'll be very upset. There's so many people who are homeless or whatever. She's dead. Your mother is dead. She can't do a damn thing anymore. All the thing that she wanted to do, you guys, I don't know, people around you, put a stop to it. She already did what she could do when she was alive. So go continue some of the thing that she was doing. Because till now, your dead mother is more popular than you and your father combined. Okay? So go do the things, the blueprint that your mother left for you, go do them. Follow your mother's footstep. Forget about outside of the UK.
This is Felix for World Central Kitchen reporting from Soufrière Primary School in the Caribbean island of Dominica. The school you can see behind me was devastated by Hurricane Maria back in 2017, and in fact it took a whole 2 years before pupils were allowed back on site. I'm now here with my colleague Jason to announce the completion of the first of our community relief kitchens. The kitchen will be used primarily to feed the needs of the 67 pupils here at the school, but we'll also be offering culinary training to the wider community when the school's not in session. We've been able to design the kitchen in such a way that it's resilient to future disasters and will be activated as a service kitchen to meet those needs if it arises. We really like to extend our thanks firstly to ResDM, the local partner on the ground here, and also to Meghan and Harry's Archwell Foundation, whose support have helped the project become possible.
Focus on the people who are giving you their tax dollars. Focus on them. You'll see how much popularity you'll get. Don't focus on the rich and the powerful who's already putting their stiletto heels on the poor already. Alright, so you want the spotlight? Stop doing shady stuff. If you already done shady stuff, you better come clean. Let people know where your wife is. But instead, you consuming more negativity. People who you think are your friends, they're willing to lie for you and all that. They're not your friend. Eventually, the truth will come out. They'll be making money off of your stupidity. Just look at the royal rats right now. How much money they have made over your dead mother. So what do you think when you die? All the BS you're trying to hide, everybody's gonna know. You still haven't learned a damn thing yet. Alright, so that's that. Alright, this is the last comment underneath here. I love this. He's always been a spare. He just didn't know you also right. Okay, so that's it. Let's get back to the original recording. And finish with the recording. With the video.